While we were continuing to get bad reports, especially there towards the end, Halle fought. She was not ready to give up. She knew that she had a story to share, and that was part of her mission. And we felt like now is our time to share that on her behalf. She's not here to do it. My name is Julie Hershberger, and our cancer journey started in 2001 when our 6-year-old daughter, Halle, was diagnosed with Ewing's sarcoma. She would endure 9 months of treatment, chemo, radiation, surgery, and the following spring was declared cancer-free. Halle went on to live life to the fullest. She graduated high school, went on to pursue a degree in college, was getting ready to graduate and started noticing that she was starting to have some health issues, aches and pains in her back. And one morning she woke up and she had lost feeling in her one leg and was losing feeling in the other. So we rushed her to the local emergency room where they did a scan, an x-ray, and saw that she had a large mass in her chest wall cavity. So they rushed her into surgery. They were able to relieve those lesions, but we got the devastating news that after 17 years, her cancer had returned. Halle ended up going through treatment here in Columbus. We transferred her care down here, and she went through a full year and a couple more surgeries. And then May of 2020, Halle lost her battle with cancer. Halle was a fighter. And she got that from her dad. He knew what to say to keep her in focus and say, we're not giving up. You can do this. God has not abandoned us. We're sticking close to what his word says. There are some days where it gets very raw and emotional. And yet I come back to that it's not about me. It's about what we can do to bring God's glory into this situation in some of the hardest, darkest times. When Halle was diagnosed at 6, I was 9 months pregnant with our youngest. And Halle finished her first week of chemo on a Friday. We got home about midnight, and at 3 a.m. I went into labor. By 6:30, our third child was born. It was a pretty emotional, raw experience, to say the least. I look at Seth, and I think, too, what a blessing he was. God knew what Halle needed during this time because he was such a good distraction for all of us. She loved having him there. And on the days that were hard, laying him with her in her hospital bed brought her such comfort. My second son, Ian, was 3 years old when Halle was diagnosed. It was the hardest on him. Seth and I would be at the hospital during the day. My husband would leave work and come up and be with Halle and spend the night with her. Leave in the morning to go back to work. And Seth and I would go to the Ronald McDonald House, sleep at the Ronald McDonald House, and then come back and be with her during the day, which left Ian at home. And as a parent, it's extremely difficult when you feel like your family is divided. You try to do the best that you can and know that in the end, that's all you can do. As hard as it is, and as complicated as it feels sometimes, and being separated from them, when you are together, you just try to figure out a way to make the most of those times. I'm thankful we had such a great support group between family and friends to help us, but it was still really hard and really complicated. Life wasn't normal for us, and we just longed for normalcy, but we didn't have that. With Take Heart, being able to bring people together where they can share experiences, draw strength from one another, that is just going to, I think, bring a lot of healing and hope to people who are going through these really dark situations. I look at Halle's life and spiritually where she was, and feel like I still have a lot to achieve to get there. Halle got it at a young age. I think part of that was because of the experience she had at the age of 6. How she got through it was being grounded in her faith. And so she set an example for the rest of us.